Hi, a beautiful sunny morning today, so I decided to give my stone plants a little bit of water since winter time they haven't got any water at all and they look really thirsty and dry. So I give them just a little bit so they will not gonna get shocked as well. And our weather here in Northern Ireland is not really consistent, so I I cannot really take the risk of giving them a lot of water, because if you this type of plants, if you give them a lot of water, they would be able to they wouldn't survive. They will get mushy and they get suffocate with too much water. And so just a little bit tiny drop of water today, and I think that would do. So these stone plants are from the Aizoaceae family, or as I said, the stone plants. They can be found in somewhere in South Africa where it's really warm, really hot, really sunny, and really dry. So this type of plant are very resilient in their own way. Um, they they are a succulent type. They can retain and keep a lot of fluid or moisture in its body, so they can survive for a long period of dry and sunny weather. So um, they also they known to be stone plant because they mimic the surroundings that they live in. As you can see, I even put a tiny bits of potting grit, and they do really camouflage in it and in their natural habitat. That's how they are. It's a kind of protection as well for itself, to protect itself from predator, like the animals that the wild animals gonna eat them. So they mimic the surrounding. That's why they're also known as the mimicry plants or the mesem plants, because they camouflage in their surroundings. And they really resembles like the rocks and pebbles. So that's how cool they are. And I really like because they are self-resilient, so and self-efficient. They can survive even without a lot of care. But it is very challenging to grow here in Northern Ireland, since this is not the type of climate that they are used to live in. So it's very challenging on my part, and that's why I don't have much of their collection, because I'm scared I'm just gonna kill them. So these are all my tryout plant, and see how I get on and how they get on in my home. So the first one I got are the litups. So I have here the two. I have here the wee tiny seedlings, and this one that is already matured. This is called litups, or the livingstone plants. Now, I don't have the scientific name in each plant, because it was only labeled as the litups. But they are very cool plants. As you can see, they're also known to be called as bud plants, because they have this split at the middle that looks like a bud. But what is really interesting in this type of plants is the mother plant, when it gives out little babies and seedlings and pups, they actually give up their life. As you can see, they're starting to dry out. They give all their moisture, all their water, and all their nutrients to their young pups, so their young pups can survive even without watering. And at that time as well, when they started to split, you don't need to water them, because it could really cause damage, and it could lead them to death, having too much moisture. Because if you water them, their body will get really fatter and fatter, and it will explode, and then that's the end of their lives. So that's why I haven't watered them, because the mother can actually provide for for their young ones. And it's very interesting plant, because we parents really though give up everything for our young kids. And even with these plants, that's just how they get on as well, so you can really pretty much relate as well. So these are my lithops, and this is the tiny seedlings that I just planted. I got these seedlings online, and she grew it in seeds, so they're quite dry at the moment. But and you cannot even see them closely because they don't really resembles like the stones. You would think that you would think probably think that that's a stone, but that's actually the lithops. And this one too. Look, let me see the sunny one. Let me see the sunny one. Look, oh dear. There you go. So these are my two lithops. I separate one because I'm gonna grow it and into a bigger plant, and maybe give this away. Then the next one is my conopython, or what's it's known to be the button plant, because it does look like a button. It also has a split in the middle, and that's where the growth, the babies and I mean like the flowers are coming out. With lithops as well, the flowers will grow in the middle of the splits, and also the young pups. So conopython, or some other call it the button plant, because it does resembles the button. And the next one is my is the Lapidaria margaratae. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I lost quite I lost a pup here, I guess, because I lost the pup here. It's really drying out now. I have to get it sometime because it's really dry now and it's dead. They also grow in splits, but unlike lithops, they grow in pair, in twos. This one have these four splits, like a four florets. It has a beautiful flower as well. I hope they do really survive though. I hope this plant will survive though. Although I lost, but I have this couple of these that are still quite stable and still firm. So I'm hoping. Last is my Titanopsis calcarea. Sometimes with all the plants that I have, I can't remember quickly their scientific names and their names. It's so much information in my little brain to keep. But so this is Titanopsis calcarea, or what it's also commonly known as the concrete plant, because it does look like concrete. If you look closely, it does. The top in its leaves have this like concrete look. But unlike the lithops, the conopython and the lapidaria, they have splits. This one grow in a floret style, or in a rosette style. So they grow like in a forms of like a flower. But they're also in the same family of Aizoaceae, where they mimic the surroundings, or the place that they grow in, to protect themselves, to the same as the other stone plants. And so I the same thing, I damaged this part here because I forgot to remove them in the windowsill, and there was one time here in Northern Ireland that we got a cold winter time, that it even snow, that there's even snow. So I forgot to get them out in the windowsill, and it started to die out. They cannot really survive cold weather. This type of plants needs not just enough sunlight, but it has to be warm climate, warm um, type of weather, they really need to. So it is, as I said, it is really challenging to have them in my care since this is not their habitat. This is not their this is not the place where they can survive and they live. But really cool to have them too. And this is these stone plants are my tryout plant. I am, you know, giving myself a test or a challenge if I could certainly grow this type of plants. But at the moment they are fine, surviving and thriving. And anyway, this type of plants, they're part of the succulents family, so they are very resilient, very efficient. And so I am I am rooting on them that they will give me more. They will give extra growth and they will flower. I would love to see them flowering too. So, and I would like to see more pops, so I could be able to share it too. And it's really nice to share it to anybody to grow this type of plants because they're very cool. Look, really cool. So these are the stone plants.